Students, let's now try to understand the poetic devices used in the poem Dust of Snow. The first and foremost important poetic device used in the poem is rhyme scheme AB AB. You might have noticed that the last word of each line is rhyming. Crow is rhyming with the word snow, me is rhyming with tree. So the rhyme scheme AB AB. And if you go to the second stanza of the poem, you will notice that the word heart is rhyming with the word part, and the word mood is rhyming with the word root. So the rhyme scheme CD CD. Now, moving to the another very important poetic device used in the poem is assonance. You will have noticed, students, that there has been a visible, powerful use of the vowel O. Just look at the line 2. If you look at the line 2 here, it's shook down on me. Shook down on me. The use of vowel sound either in the beginning or in the middle or somewhere, that makes it quite visible that assonance has been used here. The next important poetic device we'll notice which has been used is consonance. Consonance means the use of consonant sound in the beginning, in the middle, or at the end of a word. You will notice in the last line of the poem, day, had, root, there has been use of the word sound d. That means the visible use of poetic device consonants. Moving towards another poetic device, symbolism. Symbolism has been used in line the way a crow, and then again in the next line from a hemlock tree. Here both crow and hemlock tree are symbol of sadness and darkness and a bad omen. And let's not forget, students, hemlock tree is a poisonous tree. Now moving towards the another important poetic device, that is irony. Here in the poem, crow, the dust and the hemlock tree represent bad omen. So we think that something bad is going to happen, but they actually give relief to the poet, which is exactly opposite. That is irony in the poem. Now moving towards another poetic device, that is enjambment. Enjambment is a poetic device which leads to the continuation of the sentences or a one line into another line without any use of punctuation. You might have noticed that the line, the way a crow shook down on me the dust of snow from hemlock tree, through there is use of enjambment in each line, that it seems that one line is following into second line without any use of punctuation. And same is in the stanza 2, has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I rued. There is no use of punctuation and one line follows the other line, as if there is a continuation of one line into second line and second line into third line, and vice versa. Alliteration. Alliteration is another powerful device, literary device, and we can see the use of this literary device in lines, has given my heart, though it is not quite near to each other, but still we can see the ha sound being used. And then in another line, saved some, yes, again the s sound. So we can say that alliteration has been used in the poem The Dust of Snow. These were the poetic devices used in the poem. Next, we will be discussing the theme of the poem. Well, the themes in Dust of Snow. Dust of Snow has three important themes. The very first theme is communication between nature and humans. Yes, and next one is nature's healing and with negative healing with negative human emotions. And the last, not least, is the significance of small natural events in the poem. As we have noticed that the dust of snow, as it falls on the poet, he forgets the sadness, the gloom, which is actually destroyed the part of his day, and through the negative elements in nature, which need not to generate negative energy, has given him joy, positivity to save the rest of his day. After understanding the themes of the poem, let's now have a quick look at the question answers of the poem. What is dust of snow? Why does the poet say has changed his mood, and how has the poet's mood changed? As we know, students, dust of the snow here refers to the tiny particles of snow. The particles are so small that poet referred to them as dust. The poet was in awful mood when particles of snow had fallen on him. This changed the poet's frame of mind instantly, and his day got lot more better. So I guess that has given you enough idea what you're going to write in your question number 1. Let's move towards the question number 2. How does poet present nature in his poem? The following questions may help you to think of an answer. What are the birds that are naturally named in poems? Do you think a crow is often mentioned in poems? What image comes to your mind when you think of a crow? Birds like sparrow, nightingale, and peacock are more often praised in poems, named in poems. Unlike these birds, crows are often seen as indicators of doom and fear, and they are often used in negative connotation and references only. And now moving to another one. Again, what is a hemlock tree? Why does the poet write about a beautiful tree such as maple or an oak or a pine? Trees are always seen as mighty creatures, students, isn't it? Imparting wisdom as they are old. They give out oxygen, absorb the carbon dioxide, which is connected with absorbing negative energy. But there are trees that are poisonous too, like a hemlock tree. The poet does not mention a more beautiful tree such as maple, oak, pine, or any other tree because he wants to indicate a sad scene. Being a poisonous, a hemlock tree is considered bad, so he refers to it and tries to show how bad things have capability to bring goodness in an individual's life or whosoever comes in contact with them. Okay, next one. What do the crow and hemlock tree present? Joy or sorrow? What does the dust of snow that the crow shakes off a hemlock tree stand for? As it has been discussed already, both crow and hemlock tree represent sorrow. Frost has used both negative creatures, crow and hemlock tree, as the carriers of positivism and strength that has transformed his day for better. By not using like any other bird or any other tree, the poet has tried to break down all the preconceived notions and stereotypes. And thus, crow sitting and hemlock tree together make his day better. The dust of snow stands for joy. We know that how he starts his day. it's full of gloom and sadness, and how his day is later on transformed into joy and happiness. Okay. Have there been times when you felt depressed or hopeless? Have you experienced a similar moment that changed your mood that day? This will be totally dependent on your personal experience, how you felt on certain particular day, and these kinds of questions are meant to show your power of imagination and creative abilities, and you will be doing it on your own. As I have told you that you will be doing this question on your own, and of course other questions as well, and sharing your very own personal experience, like whether there was some sort of negativity in your life and how you overcame that negativity. Well, there are some long questions for homework as well, and there are four of them. Go through these questions, and I'm sure with as you have understood the poem, I have discussed the different aspects of the poem. You will be able to do these questions. I hope you have understood very well, and please give your valuable feedback, and happy learning, students. And this was end of your poem, Dust of Snow.